welcoming all participants from the 15 countries who have come to Dhaka. This is a very good time to visit Dhaka, not because air pollution is less, but because we have got very good mangoes at this time of the year. So a very warm welcome and a very sweet welcome, because you'll get to taste the very famous mangoes of Bangladesh, and in our calendar we call this month as Madhumash, means honey month of honey, because the fruits that you get, the seasonal ones, they are very sweet. We are actually discussing a very important topic here. The topic that we are talking about is social business, and we are repeatedly referring to the 3-0 notion, which I believe is a value-driven notion. And for real changes to happen in the world, what we need most is not uttering the values, but practicing the values. We all know what is good. We all know what is bad. We all talk about human rights. We all talk about equity. We all talk about having no war in this world. But even in 2025, we are seeing wars. We are seeing arbitrary aggression, and the way things are being wrapped up, we can always say that it's more imposition than a process that's putting an end to violent behavior. If it does not go in my interest, I intervene, I stop. But that should not be the rule of the game. In 2025, when we are dealing with climate change, we have to rethink our consumption patterns, how we define necessity versus overconsumption, and what is it that we really need to do to stop war forever. When we talk about 3-0, we talk about employment, we talk about poverty and wealth distribution, we talk about carbon emission. And since it is a gathering of Muslim countries, I don't know why that is the case, but whatever may be the reason, when we talk about Muslim countries gathering together, I would say that the importance of value needs to be again emphasized. The little I know about my religion, it actually talks about getting people to work. It actually tells you not to eat knowing fully well that your neighbor is hungry. It tells you that you must not choose a lifestyle that is overconsumptive. So it's not something that is not there in our religion. Rather, it is very much there in Islam. But the problem remains that we just don't practice these values. Whether you read Quran, you read Hadith, these are exactly the same thing that Islam has told us to not only preach, but to practice. And the issue of inequity has been very elaborately dealt with in both Quran and the reliable Hadith. And the notion of social business and the foundation that on which it is expected to be built on is not doing profit by creating miseries for others. You can have your profit margin, but you have it only to pay it forward, not to accumulate your own wealth, to do it from a deep sense of social responsibility. Had we, the Muslims, been doing it, then why is it so that we can't unite when the innocent Palestinian people are losing lives? Why is it so that Iran do not find that many Muslim countries jumping spontaneously to say no to the aggression? I think without addressing the core issues, only talking about bringing the Muslims together to promote social business will not take us to the ultimate destination. When we talk about inequity, Islam has this beautiful system of zakat, which requires you to pay to those who need that financial assistance, and to do it in a way that changes the life of that person. So you don't give an insignificant amount to 100 people, rather you target the needy people and help them in a way that they come out of poverty. They come out of the curse of poverty. In modern day statehood, we Muslims pay double taxes. We pay zakat. We also pay the taxes that our state imposes on us. As a citizen, when I pay my tax, I expect that this tax will be utilized for the benefit of the needy people. On the contrary, what we end up seeing is this money is being utilized for mega projects that do not necessarily pull people out of poverty. So getting into the poverty trap has been the outcome of a most inequitable economic model. When we talk about social business, we say this from a sense of responsibility towards the society. When we talk about popularizing it or bringing the Muslims together around the notion of social security, we actually talk about addressing the inequity issues by getting people to work, by creating scope for people to work, by not consuming all by yourself, rather distributing it. Do not know if we all really see the same thing with the same eyes and the same perception. So equity has to be the main core of the thing. And for inequity to end, there has to be a real transformation in the global order. With ultra-capitalism rising, I think the call for social business is the right call, is the right path to follow to address overconsumption and ultra-capitalism. And of course, I see the youth playing a role. Because of how we have developed the global economic order, we have actually destroyed the natural resource base. And we have developed in a way where we have put interest of few at the center at the cost of or denying the interest of the rest of the community. And that has led to a situation or to a catastrophe like the climate change. And if we do not address it by rectifying our modus operandi, we actually will not be able to save the world. At least 52 countries will go under water, which means many civilizations will simply disappear by the end of this century. Even the way we draw the map of Bangladesh, our next generation perhaps will be forced to draw it differently because of climatic changes. And that is something totally unacceptable. So the global transformation call through social business is important, and also important to really mean and define as to what we mean by Muslim brotherhood. I know Shireen Appa is here and she would not accept the term brotherhood, but the unity has to be for a real change. There are values that we share as communities, but we have seen in recent times that we have not managed to save our Rohingya brothers and sisters. We have not done enough for our brothers and sisters in Palestine. We have not done enough for our brothers and sisters in Iran, in Syria, elsewhere in the world. So of course there is need for unity, and I believe that the youth would actually lead the process of change, because they are the ones who are facing the curse of our unthoughtful, inconsiderate, and disrespectful actions. We have not been considerate to other communities. We have not been respectful to nature, and that is why we are faced with all the problems we are now having to deal with. Having said this, while social business is definitely one way of addressing the grave issues of economic injustices, for other form of justices, we really have to unite, understand each other, communicate better, define all the 15 countries together, all the other Muslim countries together, and the Muslim community living everywhere in the world as one given group that nurtures certain values, which will not only be protective of the Muslims, but of all communities, irrespective of which religion they belong to. And that is what we Muslims are supposed to do. We are not supposed to hate others. We are not supposed to distribute or trigger hatred. We are supposed to show compassion, love others, respect and value other cultures, other religions, other communities. And the 15 countries who have gathered here in Bangladesh, once again a very warm welcome. Let us define ourselves. Let us identify ourselves. Let us define our values. Let us preach and practice our values. I thank the organizers. I'm not naming them because some of them have very long names, for inviting me here to say a few words. I hope you all enjoy your stay in Bangladesh, and I'm sure the organizers will take very good care of all of you who have, traveled thousands of miles to be here in Bangladesh. Thanks a lot.